success to Miriam.
Thank you.
All right, Lisa's up next, unless the vessel needs some water first.
Some sips, yes.
Greetings, KALASK.
Greetings, Lisa. Yes.
Oh, I really enjoyed your session on the Ridge-U evolution of time, like Miriam. It's I was wondering if the KALASK there's a female that was coming through that is talking with us on that session.
Yes, are you requiring any particular female that you were referring to earlier in our interaction?
Well, yes, I do want to do that also, but on the one that was speaking about the Ridge-U evolution of time, I was wondering if that was a female on KALASK that was speaking about that to us.
There were numerous individuals, as there usually, yes. There are shared information, like right now, like for a few moments ago, there was the AI specialist, so to speak, coming through further when Miriam was putting up the inquiry.
Yes.
There are more military personnel dependent situation, and obviously this situation, yes, somebody was more equipped, or a number of people, a group of people were more equipped with translating this concept particularly to your species, and one of the translators, well, some were female, some were male, yes.
Yeah, they did so well on explaining that.
Yes,
I can
but
see like
the last few, what you consider minutes, perhaps were more of a female grouping compared to the earlier ones, but we're glad that you enjoyed the effort.
Yes, definitely. I can see how difficult it is for me to even explain to others that can't conceive of what I'm talking about, and so it's just you do an amazing job. KALASK does so.
Very well.
Yes. Okay. Yes, I would like to speak with KLAKKUL.
Yes. Do you have a further description of an individual we could use as a point of reference?
Yes, I had a dream about her, and more of a mother figure, and I remember certain things about her, but I understand that I'm not going to bring all of it back, so that's why I'd like to speak with her. But I was I had a dream about her, and seeing her in more of a reptilian form was amazing. So
species is clear, obviously. Gender is clear, obviously. Any further description of the looks that we could use for a reference point to pin down the individual?
I believe she was darker brown.
Yes.
And I was connecting with her as if I was gnawing on her hand, or like I was younger, or something like this. So I ended up giving her a hug because I was giving her bites, but it was love bites, and so yes.
One more. KALASK! Greetings.
Greetings. KLAKKUL?
Pronunciation is correct, yes.
Wonderful. I am excited that you are coming through.
Yes, I'm so too.
So I felt your presence. I saw you in my astral dream time, and it seems to me that like you're the only one. Like I saw a reptilian form that I brought back with me, and it was wonderful. And I would like to know more about this connection that we have.
Well, yes, you have what you would consider a possible incarnation in the species. Even if you perceive yourself as more human, you have a possible incarnation in the species or race of my nature. And since you have that connection and you have that incarnation where you are something like a child, we don't have the same family structure. So I could also be an aunt or something similar, but in general an overseer or even what you would consider kindergartner.
Yes. Okay. I was going through this when I was thinking about questions that I wanted to talk with you about, and I realized that in other structures there is no mom and dad, so to say. Like almost everybody can be a mom and dad. So it's more of a teaching and learning experience and something like that I was getting.
Someone's celestiac, so there's the mother, but it's generally the raising of the child, it's more collective effort. And yes, there was a teaching idea, again, similar to your kindergarten. But again, we are just referring in terms of a family or structure that would be what you would consider perhaps a larger family that raises a child and teaches.
Yes, and I really like that structure quite a bit. I see it takes a toll on us when we just only have certain. We think that we are in control or have to take charge of taking care of our siblings our children, because we're not connected as much with our whole community where everyone would pretty much be taking care of one another.
Well, yes, it depends greatly on civilizations. There are many civilizations out here in a large imperial structures, whereas others that are like that and others that are not like that. There's quite some similarity among some of an insectoid nature and some reptilian nature, which is sort of different in terms of individuality and collective ideas. Also, then other mammalian cultures are also again much different. So it's not all out here structured in that fashion.
So I would like to know a little bit more about our connection and how the best use to implement, because I seem to really agree or accept the reptilian energy in my life as a human. So I would like to know a little bit more of how we are doing this, and a little bit more on your thoughts.
Yes, there's also some longing in the idea of you missing, apparently, another version of yourself that is still you, that has not decided to be you. Ironically, paradoxically, however, you are still the more connected, the more you accept who you currently are in your life. Obviously, as a human, or what you call such on your own world, not a reptile, however, I'm also speaking to this person quite newly, strangely, having a consciousness of mind through a being such as this is also different than what I'm used to.
Yeah.
And you're holding those frequencies permanently in such a body might also be somewhat challenging. But you're also helping others having better contact point on your plan. And perhaps you knowing this also might help you have a better grasp of the necessity or importance of your ability to do so, especially when you're grounding it on your planet. When you're out in nature, it also helps.
Yes, I love that. Nature and connecting.
Yes, so
with others.
species is also greatly connected to the planetary bodies more than the human participants, perhaps, even though you need to be somewhat of a human in order to have access to the whole environment in the same manner that you want to. However, the great connectivity to your environment is also, nature is also essential for understanding our connection, our past as a species.
Yes. I have a few minutes left. What dimension are you in?
I am what you would term the fifth.
Yeah. Okay.
Moving into the fifth, so I'm somewhat of a step ahead of you.
Yeah. Wonderful. And what is your interactions with humans on a personal level?
Well, I don't really interact much with humans at all, unless I'm currently talking to someone like you in such a manner, or directly telepathically, but not physically. There have been interactions between other beings. They have a humanoid monkey nature, or whatever you term such, in other words. Not on your planet, however, so it depends on the definition what you consider human.
Yeah. Exactly. Great. So I already know that I can connect with you.
Yes, you certainly can, without necessity of having to speak through this individual. Of course, I'm very glad to do so. I'm very happy about having this learning lesson, the opportunity to have a new experience.
You are correct. I am. Is there anything that you would like to say? Convey from just you yourself?
Yes, feel free to share the energy that I'm sharing with you with other people in your world. You don't need to say that you're into, well, speaking to a reptile from another planet or something similar, but something that perhaps reminds you of me. For example, when you are in nature and just sense my frequency, you can also, you don't need to, well, as you called it, a medium, the same way this person I'm speaking through, but you can be a medium in other ways, that you're just sharing energy and frequency with other individuals. That would also help the energy to be more anchored and make it easier for you to make a smoother connection.
Yes. I feel like that I do this already, and I appreciate what you're saying about it.
And appreciate what you're doing.
So do I. Thank you. Thank you for coming through.
Much understanding.
Okay. I appreciate you. Thank you.
I appreciate you as well, and I appreciate the connection.
Yes. And I will keep connecting with you.
You always do.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Anyone else wants to share their ideas, inquiries with me? Otherwise, I would connect back to KALASK.
I just have one quick question. You sound very pleasant. I really like your energy. So how light are you compared to KALASK, for instance?
Much lighter than many other members of the what you would consider an imperial structure, much darker still than what you might be familiar with or comfortable usually. So also, since I the female frequency, it's likely easier for you to interpret my energy as less hostile or perhaps conflicting with your idea of what you would consider darker or lighter ideas. I'm somewhat perhaps, well, I'm looking for a comparison compared to your members of your species. Perhaps I'm on a similar level as some of your darker members. I don't really like to divide energy in those lighter and darker aspects, but I'm just looking for some form of communication with you. But yes, I'm indeed what you would consider on a lighter spectrum than the reptiles of KALASK, or others that have spoken previously to this person, except some that have also been of a lighter nature. Again, I'm not that familiar with those differentiations.
Yeah, okay. Okay, well, thank you very much, and I really enjoy your energy. Bye.
You're very welcome. And glad about the appreciation from your side as well. Is there another inquiry, or shall I connect back?
Just wanted to say thank you for coming through. It was very lovely.
You're very welcome. Thank you for facilitating the process. Until perhaps another time of your preferred interaction of mine.